Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these. It's kind of a quiet day. It's Sunday, and truth be told, I pulled a lot of my book. Pulled a lot of my books out and got them piled all over the place. And the only way to get rid of them, to put them back, is to kind of do these videos. This video is going to be about Wicca and witchcraft, and you can see some of the resources that I have here. Okay, first one we got Buckland's Book of Saxon Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland. I don't know if nowadays maybe a lot of people don't realize it, but of course Gerald Gardner is the one that kind of brought uh, Gardnerian Wicca or witchcraft into existence. Well, Raymond Buckland is the person who brought Gardnerian Wicca to the United States. Now I have a book by him that he actually signed. Uh, I was at a spring equinox festival in Phoenix where it was open to the public, and we made it created a great big circle, and he conducted the ritual there. That was kind of cool. And I also saw him in a lecture or a talk that he gave at the Real Witches Ball in Ohio. That's where he actually signed my book for me. So that's kind of cool. I have personal uh, experience with them. It's really cool. This Saxon witchcraft, he tried to uh, put some own things there. Oops. The Complete Book of Incense Oils and Brews by Scott Cunningham. That kind of popped out of the sequence. Any book by Scott Cunningham is pretty famous. He was wrote some very well-respected books about the solitary path. That's the only book by him that I have. Okay, Wicca for One, The Path of Solitary Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland again. You can kind of see I've been influenced by him. Here's a classic, Magic Rites from the Crystal Well by Ed Fitch. Nobody's going to know who that is, but this is just such a cool book with rituals that have beautiful artwork. I'm just kind of piecing through there. Magical sayings. Let me see if I can kind of bring that up. Oh, I'm remembering kind of vaguely. The Crystal Well was like a newsletter or a magazine, and this collects a lot of the rituals and stuff that were in there. Very much a collectible. I always love that kind of art. Just kind of different rituals. Anyway, I have a novel by Ed Fitch too. I don't have it in the pile though, and I'm not going to go get it. Guide to the Supernatural by Raymond Buckland. This kind of shows the table of contents. It gives basic stuff about it. This here is the big book, the big blue book, and the one that he signed. If you see that, to banjo with bright blessings, Raymond Buckland. Trying to see a table of contents here. Preface to the second edition. And okay, so as I kind of look through here, there's places to write notes down for your lessons. So it's intended to kind of turn into your own type of Book of Shadows. Of course, here we have the Witch's Bible Complete, Janet and Stuart Farrar. This is the one straight from Gardnerian Wicca. I have a little story about Gardnerian Wicca. When I was living in Phoenix, and my wife had left with the kids and gone back to Kansas, and it was before I moved back to Minnesota. I was living in Phoenix, and I wrote to a Gardnerian coven. I wanted to meet them. And about 3 days later, I'm sleeping in bed, and all of a sudden, I wake up because there is somebody kneeling on my chest. There's actual weight, and kneeling on my chest. And of course, I didn't take very well to that at all. I was freaked out or whatever, and I just explosively pushed with power, energy, whatever, because I had crossed the great abyss at that time. I did have plenty of power. That wasn't an issue, and I could sense. I followed whoever it was, I saw a vision of somebody kneeling, kind of like on all fours on the bed, puking their guts out. And I was like, serves you right. Anyway, that's an example of a supernatural event, I guess, waking up with an actual weight on your chest. Okay, here's something I'm not very, what do you call it? It's like I should have. Maybe I'm going to throw this out sometime. Well, there's another one by him. There was a group that of people that I was around. Ceremony Spheres, the Witches Kabbalah, Christopher Penstock. And these people, they wanted to kind of like have a group, a meeting, that we would meet. And these were some of the books they wanted to study. So I ended up buying them. And then COVID came along. Yeah, Gebura initiation. Okay. Totally Kabbalistic, not like I said, the Kabbalah, as far as I'm concerned, is obsolete. I'm probably just going to throw them out sometime here. Anyway, that's the one side. The next side of, see, I have two piles of books that we're going through just like before. This other stack is probably from people that nobody has anymore. They have no clue about. Gavin and Yvonne Frost. And as far as I'm concerned, they're the real deal. Gavin was actually a scientist in the space program, a rocket scientist. Yvonne belonged to Mensa. They formed the church and school of Wicca. And they have taught thousands of students over the years. They might even be dead and gone. I think she's still alive, or what? Maybe they're separated now, or whatever. But it's like, okay, old time people, whatever. But they really, why does nobody know about them anymore? I think it's because they're not politically correct. And a lot of their books deal with the students. They deal with the experiences of their and stories about their students and what their students have done. So they really, how would I say this? They, instead of going the Gardnerian way, they went a kind of a way that's more kind of common sense but scientific. This is one of my favorite ones here. The Magic Power of Witchcraft, Frost. Let's see what year it was published. Third printing, 1979. Oh, 1976 is the publication date. Now, some of the things they talk about here, one of the things I remember is they said, hey, your food. Some of your food has vital life force. Some of it doesn't. You're better off eating food, making sure that you eat food with that's loaded with vital life force. And a lot of that food is well, it's fresh, or it's like sprouts, it's like eggs, it's like young food. And I just kind of remembered that they talked about food that way. Silent persuasion. Joe gets a job, a new position. So you're talking about techniques, body fuel. So they really, this is not the light a candle and make a wish thing or something like that. This is really some serious things. And one of the things that they talk about and that I believe also, they say that, okay, 3 degrees of Wicca, 3 degrees of the craft, witchcraft or whatever, it's hard. There's a lot of people that can go their whole life and not get that 3rd degree. I think of it kind of very similar to uh, oak and organic Gnosticism, where the 3 degrees are actually very um, they're they take a long time. The 1st degree is tapping into the light as a source. The 2nd degree being basically learning how to transmute the poisons, working with shadow self, and the others. Just a minute. I think I'm having battery problems. I'm going to stop. I went back and I got that book by Ed Fitch, Castle of Deception. Kind of a cool book. Uh, it has kind of fun. It has the same artwork, like from the same artist as Rites from the Crystal Well. And it's just kind of a fun little story. There's kind of, she can turn into a wolf. And there's a witch finder there, all kind of stuff. But it's just kind of fun. So anyway, I put that there. I just have a few more books, so I'm going to just push through it. A Guide to Life. Just kind of thoughts, kind of one of those. What's it say here? Gavin and Yvonne are now considered to be elders of the pagan Wiccan community, initiated more than 40 years ago in England. Yvonne has some 25 years ago in Missouri. Anyway, okay. Other books by the Prophet's Bible. What's that going to talk about? Okay, I figured out what was going on. I actually, I was recording highest quality possible, and I was using up my space on my record thing on the disc too fast. Anyway, so I got a little hiccup there. But the Prophet's Bible, let's see. How-to Manual of Prophecy, some old, some new, all of them tested and true. It's, if somebody's looking for your traditional Wicca or witchcraft. This is not really them. They were very good in the real path to raising Kundalini power. They were very big into Tantra, which also I believe in. The highest and most rapid path to enlightenment. This is part of why they got in trouble, I think, too. Like I said, they were the real thing. And a lot of the fluffy bunny types that they couldn't take it. Finding your guides, walking the path, entering new realms, practicing magic. Or it says Gavin and Yvonne Frost co-founded the Church and School of Wicca in 1968. They've written more than 20 books, including Astral Travel, Tantric Yoga, and A Witch's Guide to Psychic Healing, which I've shown you. Another book, The Witch's Magical Handbook. And basically, nobody's the selfish witch. Well, basically, there's more stories about students. Anyway, for what it's worth, that's that. And that is the end of this video. Now I'm going to have to piece it together with little segments, I guess. But we got it.